Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to the Efficient Basketball Explained podcast. You're back with your host, Mike Lee. And as I said in the previous show, one of the organizations that I will have the pleasure of working with throughout this upcoming season is the Manhattan Pride organization. And on tonight's show, I am pleased to be joined by the Manhattan Pride owner and director of marketing.
Hello.
Gentlemen, you can explain if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? My name is Modeste, founder and owner of the Manhattan Pride.
All right, and I think we also have on the line the director of marketing.
Yeah, hello. My name is Gregory St. Fort. I handle all the marketing for the players and all the branding for the team.
Well, thank you both for joining me on tonight's show. If you can, we'll start with you. When did the Pride organization begin, and what was kind of the thought process behind the creation of the team?
Well, it was actually pretty interesting on how this whole thing started for me because before the Pride, I was playing on other semi-pro organizations, and recently the former commissioner of the league contacted me, and it was an idea that I never even thought about until he asked me the question. And he asked me if I was interested in starting my own team and bringing it into the ACPBL, which is the Athletic Conference Professional Basketball League. It was going into its second year of existence. And its first year of existence, I was following it very well, and I talked to the commissioner in and out. And when he asked me that question, I was very, very hesitant to do it because, truthfully, I never thought about even having my own professional basketball franchise. I thought that was, really out there. But after I gave it a few days to a week, and I contacted him back, and next thing you know, I said, you know what, I'll do it. It sounds like a fantastic opportunity for myself and for the players around the area to help them get them more exposure and hopefully help them get to the next stage, which is going overseas and play professional basketball over there. So that was my main goal, is definitely help promote players, help market them out there, get them out there into a global scale, and hopefully, to get a better contract and play professional basketball at a higher level.
Okay. All right. Greg, how long have you been with the organization, and then kind of touch on all of your duties with the team, if you can?
Yeah, I jumped aboard, maybe after the first 3 games of the existence, actually. So, the team, I had met Will through a blog site that I had because we used to, we both love basketball.
Right.
So
absolutely.
So, we would love basketball and normally meet each other at some point. So, we met when he was looking for sponsors, and I thought I was interested in doing it. So after we had a conversation, I was like, wow, I like what he had, got going on, with the team. And I was like, I actually want to play a bigger role within the team. I didn't just want to be just a sponsor for, a short-term run. I actually wanted to have a long-term relationship with the team. So, I pitched a few ideas. Then, I started off just building a brand new website for the team. And, we're about to release a newer website soon before the season starts. But, I designed the current website. And, I was able to do a lot of different, video marketing for the players, they'll do some interviews, get things going that, a lot of teams aren't doing. And, for the next season, we're going to do a lot more, way more interactive, a lot more online activity. But right now, we're pretty good in that area. That's what I'm in charge of.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I've definitely noticed, in kind of, being familiar with the organization is, your website and your web presence is a lot more advanced than a lot of other teams at the same level. You don't really see a lot of semi-pro teams, with the kind of website and web presence that you guys have. So, I was very impressed with that.
Thanks, man. Thanks for hard work.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things you said is, you said that, guys that play balls tend to kind of always run into each other. If you can, both of y'all kind of briefly explain your background in the game of basketball.
Wow. Well, where do I start with my background? Well, basically, I'll go back to high school. I played 4 years of high school basketball at Mount St. Michael, and then after that, I ended up going junior college, playing for RCC, Rockland Community College, which is upstate, for another 2 years. And then after that, I ended up going to, at the time, Polytechnic University and play another 2 years of that. Right now it's now called New York Institute, NYU Poly, but it's like the Poly Institute of New York University. That's what it's named now. And while after that, I wanted to go deeper into basketball at the time. I also wanted to go play overseas, so I was going overseas and also picking up coaching. And one of my first coaching jobs was like coaching at a basketball camp with the New York Knicks, and that was very fun. And I ended up being an AD over there, and he pretty much offered me an assistant coaching job at the time because my good friend Mike Bragg, he was actually the head coach over there, and he offered me to be assistant JV coach of the basketball team over there at Brooklyn Friends. And after that, it's just been coaching I'm going into my 8th year, and I've been promoted 3 years later up to being a varsity head coach of basketball. So I'm still in the coaching thing, but also I have a strong desire to play, and I work out every day. And I played professionally for my first professional team. I played for the New Jersey Lightning, which was back 5 years ago or something like that.
Right.
And then after that, I ended up playing for a good guy named Chris Villar at the North Jersey Pros, fine organization they are. And after that, those are the minor league teams. And like I said earlier, once the commissioner at the time last year asked me if I wanted to do something of my own, and hey, there we go, Man Pride. We just created Man Pride. We're going to our 2nd year, and we're very excited to go ahead. So it's a step in the right direction, and I'm very excited for it.
Right. Well, Greg, what about you?
Yeah, I don't have a detailed background as a player as Will does. At most, I play for fun or fundraiser games for churches and stuff like that.
Right.
So I brought people to the game because I know a lot of people. So at the most I would help bring people to the game. But I'm not much of a player. But what I did have was I have a basketball blog website called HoopDrive.com. And I use that website as a gateway to help players get more exposure, and leagues as well, and teams. So I had a running with the IBL a couple of times where I was helping promote some of their games and stuff like that via the website, and of course the ACPBL. I did a lot of their a lot of promotion for the All-Star game last year. It came from my website as well. So that's why I specialize in. I love basketball, but I handle all the other stuff. I was never much of a player, although I know how to play.
Right.
That's not my fault. Everybody has a different focus.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know. You kind of touched on some of your strategy kind of heading into the new season, but what are some kind of your current marketing strategies for the organization? If you got any special promotions that you run throughout the season, kind of touch on that briefly if you can.
What we're gonna do a lot this year is a lot more fan involvement. So you're gonna see a lot more interaction with players and our fans, because last season we worked on developing a pretty decent fan base, and this year you can see the results of that, because which is why we see on our fan page a lot of players want to be involved. So they see a lot of our players. We had players appear in the Powerade commercial. We have players in the Metro PCS commercial. So a lot of our players they do a lot of things. And this season we're gonna focus just on fan involvement and and even better video content as well.
Okay, all right. Will, I know you mentioned earlier. You said you have a strong desire to play. I mean, how do you juggle being the team owner and general manager as well as being a player on the team?
Honestly, that's a fantastic question because every morning I wake up and every time I go to sleep, I wonder the same thing. How am I doing it? And it's just basically when you love something so much, you find a way to do it. And luckily, thankfully to God, that the schedule actually works out perfect. Like when I'm coaching high school, that's only on the weekdays only. And when we're doing like practices at night, we have practice like 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatnot. We have practice on weekends, and all games, professional games, are on weekends. And in high school, we don't have games on weekends. So a lot of it is love, a lot of it is luck with the scheduling, and basically that's how it happened, and I'm grateful for that.
Okay. All right. Well, I know, you mentioned kind of being in the ACPBL the last few years. I know that league is kind of has ended and kind of been done away with, and there's a new league that you'll be playing in this upcoming season, the APBL, the American Professional Basketball League. What effect do you feel that transition will have on the team and on the organization?
It was actually a very clever idea to call it the APBL because when you really listen, when you end up seeing what it stands for, American Professional Basketball League, that it doesn't just concentrate on one specific area. It concentrates pretty much more than that. And the effects I feel it's going to have on the team is it's going to pretty much, like what Greg would like to say, was like help us more expand in our marketing because we don't just want to market locally or regionally. We want to market like nationally and globally. Right. And that's something that's our strong desire and goal because that makes everybody look good, not just the team, the Man Pride itself, but also all the teams affiliated with the league and abroad, and all the players that get all the exposure. Like Greg and I, we work on videos, posting things everywhere. All that gives good credibility to the league, and calling the APBL gives it that much more credibility, I believe.
Okay. No, I mentioned it earlier, but I kind of talked about your web presence, and I know, Greg, you have a lot to do with that. Your sponsors, I noticed on your website you have a lot of sponsors like the Knicks, Under Armour. Kind of discuss the process of getting those kind of sponsors, those level of sponsors, and any ideas that you might have of getting future sponsors as you move forward.
Well, what we did, presentation is everything. So, when we sent out our letters, just requesting it, it seemed that we was real serious about what we do and our players. And then, a lot of it is networking as well. So sometimes you got to know the right people at the same time. But, we made that work. And in the future, for this year, we try to, get even, small businesses as well to be sponsors. Even if they sponsor in a short term, we want to work closer, with the small business because they're more directly closer to our fans. So we want to get people within the neighborhoods, where our games are actually played. So, we're expecting, some really a lot of sponsors, this year. I mean, I think we're gonna make huge strides in that area, and we're happy what we have right now, honestly.
Okay, kind of take some time to, Will, if you can, kind of discuss the team. Discuss some players on your team. I know you've talked about the desire to kind of market globally. Have you had any players on your team move on to play at a higher level? Kind of discuss that briefly if you can.
Actually, yeah. Well, the team this year that we have coming, the roster's not completely finished yet, but the players that we have currently signed with us is a very good roster. My goal from last year, when we ended up winning our playoff game, going on to the quarterfinals. Going into this year, myself and Greg, we want to expand on the success that we had last year to this year. So the roster that we have this year, we have one of the guys he recently wants to play with us, and he's on the team, Rocco Rubio. He played overseas last year. He's playing with us this year. He has an extensive background. He played college here. He played overseas there. And he's a great addition to our team. And a lot of other guys on our team have also extensive background on our roster. And when you look down our roster, it's a very formidable roster because I really feel that this year we're going to be very competitive. It goes down to having solid guard play like Andrew Gold, who's returning for us next year. And also we picked up another kid, Scotty Nimmons, he's going to be a solid point guard for us as well, joining Rock on the backcourt. But myself and Dion, we're coming back for another year. We're looking forward to playing with each other and helping the Pride go that next step. And some of the new players on the team, we actually picked up Alex.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget, Nate Young, because he was the player of the week during the summer league.
Oh yeah, Big Nate, man. Yeah. He's a pickup this summer. He played with us in the ACPBL Summer League, and he played with us this summer. He averaged 34 points and close to 12 rebounds and 2 assists. And he was second MVP voting in the ACPBL Summer League, but he made the first team on all ACPBL, and his performance in that league was spectacular and opened a lot of eyes. Right. And while having Nate on our team, we also have John Youngman, who's coming back for us for another season. He's definitely a proven player and all-around good talent. And we also have Kareem Bernard, solid 6'8" swingman who can do it all. And players like that in this league, in the minor league, is very, very hard to guard. And having him join with Jason Buckner, who is very similar to Kareem Bernard. He's also 6'8", shoot from perimeter, post up, dunk, everything. Having those type of players join our roster pretty much enhance us to be more competitive. And also having the latest signing, big Alex Westfall. He played his last year. He played at NYU Poly. That was his last year. He's a 7-footer, and he joined our team just 2 weeks ago. And having him, we're very excited to have him on the roster, and he definitely helps us with the rebound and the block shots, the interior scoring and interior defense and team defense. So with all the names I mentioned, our roster, I'm very, very pleased with the roster that we have coming into the APBL season that's coming up in a few weeks from now, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually going to present this question to both of you guys, and it's more it's more about the state of minor league, kind of semi-pro basketball. One thing that I've kind of noticed is that when you look at that level of basketball, it's kind of a mixed bag. You might look at one team and you see professional jerseys and that kind of thing, whereas you might look at another team and you don't see the same thing. So kind of explain, your approach to playing at that level and some things that you would like to see improved upon at that level, if you can.
Oh, well, definitely. I feel the way that Brian Graham is the commissioner of the APBL, he's taking huge steps into improving not just our league, but he's trying to enhance the minor basketball, overall, and how teams have to have really authentic official uniforms, things to that nature. Being professional everywhere you go. All that type of things. And he understands that funding and costs and all that stuff could come into factor. So he's very flexible. He try to help teams, do well in that regard. So when we look at the games last year, when we started the season, at the time Brian wasn't the commissioner. It was Mr. Schutz, and there was one team up in Buffalo. It came from a team like us. It was great for us to have Under Armour be one of our sponsors, and we played a team up in Buffalo, and they had T-shirts. So you could definitely tell the big drop-off when it comes to, like, you know, organization or, you know, not just funding, but just organizational professionalism. And with this year, all teams are going to have, you know, authentic jerseys. Everybody's going to look right, you know, really make the league look really official. And that's the goal and the next step that this whole league is trying to take.
Okay, and Greg, kind of speak to that question from the angle of being more of a fan, more of a front office guy, if you can.
Yeah, essentially, you know, between the commissioner and all the owners, you know, everyone is just trying to, you know, everyone's been working on, you know, strategies to work collectively to have, you know, to meet certain standards. You know, it's not that easy. You know, it's not easy to get the same funding. But, you know, as we said earlier, you know, as one team, you know, draws more attention from a marketing and branding standpoint, it helps all the other teams get better sponsors as well. You know, so, you know, as we improve it, we actually are helping the rest of the league. You know, I think that's part of it. So, you know, when we send out, you know, emails to, you know, the other owners, you know, everybody's pitching in ideas on how to get, you know, better consistency, you know, across the entire league.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like from what you're saying, it's important at this level for all the owners to work together collectively instead of it being. I mean, I know you compete, of course, on the floor, but you know, I guess the owners collectively working together is important at the minor league level.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right,
actually, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was going to say, like, actually, the owners and, you know, the team owners in this league has been very receptive, and they always trying to help each other out. It was kind of surprising my first year coming into the league. I thought that was going to be, like, cutthroat and, you know, how it's always a business and stuff like that, but it has been the exact opposite. And I talked to some of these owners, and they have been very, 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 very respectful, very nice. People like Chaz Dudley, he's Beltway Bombers coach down there. You got the Palmyra Jeans with the Philadelphia Destroyers with Coach Cummings and his wife Renetta, and you know, all these organizations, definitely down there also the Darren Shuckers, they run very well.
Yeah, this guy Paul. Yeah, this guy Paul and the Shuckers. Yeah, he's always really open to giving advice because you know they got really good sponsors. Because one of their sponsors is Buffalo Wild Wings. So when you go to their games, there's a Buffalo Wild Wing mascot running around. So that's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty cool. That's a really big sponsor, you know. So you know that's a franchise, and then you know he's really open to giving advice. You know, if I was to contact him right now while he's online on Facebook, he'll respond and he'll say, hey, you should try this. So, you know, a lot of the, you know, owners and, you know, front office guys are really helpful, you know, towards other teams. You know, even in the Shockers, another thing they did when they, I think on their local, one of their channels, I forgot which channel it was, but they had our game against them publicized there. And, you know, they let everybody know in the entire league, you know, and then everyone around the league was making sure everybody knew that because that helps everybody. Exposure from one team helps everybody.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds good. I mean, that's pretty much all I have right now. You know, did either one of you want to add anything? I know you can take some time to give your contact information, you know, both for the team and then personally.
Excuse me. Well, definitely. One thing I wanted to mention with the enhancement of the APBL league. It's going to definitely be tougher this year. There's going to be new teams in there. It's going to be a longer schedule from 14 to possibly 16 games. It's going to be more competitive. Rosters I'm seeing from across the region is going to be tougher, just from what I'm hearing. And definitely I feel that us probably will be ready when the season tips off, definitely.
Good.
Yeah, and definitely we're gonna, you know, I said we have a lot. We're gonna have a brand new website real soon. We actually doing a big team photo shoot in a week or so. So you're gonna see some really nice pictures from our players, some real cool pictures too. Professional photos, and more video content. You're gonna see a lot of new things from our team this year, from a marketing and branding standpoint. And we're just excited. I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait to get everything rolling. We're already moving things, but I can't wait just for the actual season to start, because we have a fairly new team, but everybody's excited to play.
Absolutely.
Good. And Greg, if you can give out your information. I know you mentioned your website earlier. Give us the information real quick.
Yeah. My own individual website is GregorySt.Fort.com. That's Gregory St. Fort. My basketball blog is HoopDrive.com. And if anything regarding the Manhattan Pride, email me at greg@manhattanpride.com. So.
Okay, and
if you know any sponsors, let them know. Just email me.
Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for you.
My contact information is william@manhattanpride.com. And you could contact me, email me, questions, anything. I'll respond to practically almost all my emails.
Okay. All right. I know you. You got your NBA channel. Duke NBA.
Yeah.
Put out a lot of information on.
DukeNBA.com. It's been growing. It's when you join our group on our Facebook. It's very, very competitive in there, and very passionate NBA fans and college fans go in there. And even right now, since the NBA season's not going on, we still talk NBA and college, but also we're talking football and baseball. We even had a cycling posting that went over 100 comments.
Yeah.
I still can't believe. And I didn't make one comment on that, and we went over 100. And it's been very exciting, actually.
Yeah, what's cool about that group? If you're gonna say something in that group, you better know what you're talking about, because someone will comment.
So true.
Like there's nothing you can't. If you say something that doesn't make sense, like at least 10, 15 people are gonna let you know that. Because it's like a group for like real, like people that really know the game, like really passionate fans. So if they smell blood, they're gonna attack you. So they're like sharks in there.
Absolutely.
I love that group though. It's amazing.
All right, well, I've enjoyed having you both on, and I definitely look forward to having you on again, as the season approaches, as we get into the season. So, I definitely look forward, and I appreciate both of you guys joining.
Hey, thanks again for having us.
Yes, definitely. Thanks. All right, take care.
All right, take care. And, that was my interview with the owner and director of marketing for the Manhattan Pride. Like I said, I definitely look forward to having them on as we get into the season. You'll definitely be hearing more from them, more from the team as we move forward and get into the season. I definitely look forward to working with both of those guys and the organization more. As I said, this has been the Efficient Basketball Podcast. I thank everybody for listening, and, tune in as we move forward, and thank you for your time. And with that said, I'm out. Everybody enjoy the rest of their evening.